Hello, I'm Eric Meeks, and some of you know me as the realtor guy. And today I'm going to talk to you about the Palm Springs real estate market. I've got a copy of the desert housing report that goes from October 2019 to October 2020. And I'm going to share that with you today here on the screen. Let's first reconfigure this just a little bit. As you can see, it just takes me only a second here. There we go. A little longer than I'd like, but I'll get better at it over time. There you go. Okay, so look at the top of my screen here, where it's like the COVID-19 Desert Real Estate Report. I've got this one here to work with, and then another one over here off to the side that's called the Desert Housing Report. Okay, and let's get this one here back to the beginning so that we can talk about it. Okay. This one here, that shows the month of October of 2020. As you can see here, we had a nice rise in the market in the beginning of the month, and through the middle of the month, we dipped down. This is just for the median price of homes selling on these particular days. And then as we got near the end of the month, we had more and more sales until we hit a high of over $500,000 a month for the average price only for the month of October. That's a great average for the Coachella Valley. But let's go back here and take a look at the COVID-19 real estate report, okay, and go through some of the days. Okay, now this graph that you see here, okay, this shows the last year. If you take a look here from the bottom of it, from October 31st of 2019 through 11/30 of 2020, which we haven't even seen 11/30 yet, but let's go to a 10/31. I think that's got to be a typo there on it. And this is for Los Angeles County, but this general arc that you see here, okay, of the red line and the blue line going like this for pending under contract and the blue line being for closed sales, that's going to be a graph that you're going to see whether we're in Los Angeles County or whether we're in Orange County. Very similar graphs for what's in each one, and these are for the quantity of home sales. So if you ever want to see the quantity of homes that sell in Los Angeles, we're selling between 150 and 200 on most days. We seem to have a low of about 75-ish on some, but that was right after Governor Newsom, okay, put the stay-at-home order in place. Now, a similar thing happened in Orange County right in the month or two after that stay-at-home order went in place. A lot of people pulled out of the market. A lot of buyers pulled out of the market. Everybody was kind of in a free fall stall, but only for a month or two. After that, everybody started coming back in. Okay, and it's because of some pretty incredible things that happened with it. And the number one is that people still need places to live. People still have jobs that change areas. People die in the family. I'm sorry to hear people get married in the family. People have kids. So there are dynamics to life that people still have to deal with their real estate needs. Now, this is for the Coachella Valley. So as you can see right here, this is the average daily sales. SFR means single family residences. So those are regular homes that people live in, not condos, not attached homes, not townhouses. Single family homes, single family residences. And that same graph where it's kind of going high here, and these months where we're going up, okay, in the past year, that's from January through March. Okay, so that's as we're ramping up into the season. We're hitting a high here. We've got it about March 19th. Okay, I can see it right here with what's in the graph. Okay, and then everybody pulls out, right? This is right after COVID becomes a big deal. Suddenly everybody's like, oh my goodness, what are we gonna do? They all pull out. And then over the next 6 to 7 months, okay, as we go here from the end of April, okay, probably about mid-May, okay, which is when season is usually getting over here in the Coachella Valley. Those of you who are Palm Springs, Palm Desert, and Indio natives, okay, you know this, that as summer comes on, the market, I mean, those of us in real estate knows that the market still has some high points left in it, but retail and restaurants and many other industries out here, they don't see that in the desert. Real estate just took off like a wildfire at that point. It was insane. Okay, and we've had a very high market. So as you get here to where you see, and we don't sell the quantity of homes like they do in LA and Orange County. So we're selling about 25 homes a month. If you look at these highs through here that have been going on since about August, okay, mid-August, somewhere in there. You could even say end of July, okay, they went on. But then in October, we had a downturn, not huge, because compared to where we were last April, okay, this high that we're looking at over here, okay, you've got 25, 24 homes selling a day still. There is a little drop of one or two, okay, homes a day, but that's to be understood. This is during the heat of the presidential election. There was a lot of topsy-turvy moments where people, no matter which candidate you like, whether or not they were actually, you know, what's the future of the country going to be like? So some people are hesitant, some escrows don't close as much, but not a lot, okay? Mostly people still believe that regardless of who was going to be president, the economy is going to continue on strong. So as we look at condos, okay, very similar, not quite as many on a daily basis, and realize that if we're selling 10 or 11 a day, and there's 30 days in a month, 300, 330, you know, a month. And we still have land sales. We still have rentals. Okay. We still have apartment blocks. We still have commercial sales. We still have other types of real estate sales, but this is just dealing with condos or single family homes. All of the type of industry out here for real estate was doing similar things. But now the question becomes, where are we going from here? Okay. And I'm going to bring that back up here in 1 second, but you can look at the percentage change, okay, most, like Cathedral City, up 21% over the year before. Coachella was down, but most of them are up. Desert Hot Springs up about 5%, whereas Indian Wells up 200%, but Indian Wells dealing with a pretty small amount of numbers. So it's easy to have a big fluctuation percentage-wise when you're going from 2% to 6%. But like La Quinta, where you're going from 18.8, so basically 19 homes a day that's selling their average weekly so these are weekly sales, 18 or 19 homes a week to 33 homes a week. I mean, they're rating that as 77%. I see that as like a 50%, but okay, it's a strong increase. And those are numbers that are more typical. Now, Palm Desert went from about 20 homes a week to almost 26. Palm Springs basically doubled from 12 to 22.5. And that's just single family homes. Condos have similar statistics where almost every city, okay, saw substantial increases. If you look at all homes overall, a 12% increase in Cathedral City, 200% again in Indian Wells, 34% in Indio, 73% in La Quinta. You kind of get where we're at. Palm Desert at roughly 50, Palm Springs 65%, and that's for the quantity of home sales. What is truly amazing on this here, and let's see if I can find the statistic. Average price per square foot, yes, we've seen some. And notice that the price per square foot did drop right after the Gavin Newsom stay-at-home order, but percentage-wise on the price, if your home went from about $255 to $235, $240, so a $15 per square foot change on about a 2,000 square foot home, puts you at about a $3,000 price change difference. So many of the sellers who were already in escrow that maybe had to kick in a little bit on closing costs or something like that said, let's do it. For $3,000, I still want my home to sell, right? Because the average home's like 300, 400,000. At times, we'll even look at an average sale price of 500,000, depending on exactly what neighborhood and where you're selling. But so $3,000 in the overall scheme of things, pretty small if you're really counting on the sale happening. What I'm looking for here is an inventory quantity. I can't remember this, daily inventory. This is where the market has been absolutely stunning, okay? And people, you know, it's a hard thing to explain, okay? Because look, we're now down to about 2,000 active homes on the market. These are properties that are actively for sale right now, not the ones in escrow, not the ones recently sold. If somebody wanted to come to the Coachella Valley and buy a house, there's right now roughly 2,000 homes on the market. Whereas 1 year ago, or not even 1 year ago, but when the stay-at-home order was issued, okay, back in March, so this is 7-8 months ago, there were 3,000 homes on the market. Okay, big difference. Okay, inventory has dropped by a third, okay, by many people's standard. And roughly a year ago, we were also at 3,000. So that's where you can see where we're at on the statistics, but no, that's not what I look at there. Let's leave this one up. Okay, let's swing this one in, because this is where some people just don't realize, and what I would like to help people to understand. Let me find the right graph here. Take me just a second. I'm getting close. This is interesting. Average home sales on 3-month averages per city. Look at this. Palm Springs is at 237 for average home sales on a 3-month average. That means that we're averaging about 240 homes a month selling. A year ago, that average was 153. So the quantity of homes selling, while we've got 1,000 less homes on the market anytime. Palm Desert's at 226 versus 143 a year ago. La Quinta, 198 versus 111. That's like almost a double, okay, of what we're talking there. Rancho Mirage, 123 versus 69. Again, roughly doubling. Indian Wells is selling 44 homes a month on average versus 20 years ago. That's a little over double. Okay, so pretty interesting what is now. We've seen the quantity of sales increase, prices are increasing, inventory shrinking. Okay, Valley housing inventory. Oh, that is the one I want, right there. Okay, so this one here. So here we are, it says November 2020. So it's probably November 1st, 2020. Roughly, again, 2,000 homes on the market, okay, on the day that this graph is put together. Okay, here we go back a year ago, 3010. So those are the statistics I showed you, right? On this other chart, we've got 2,000 here versus 3,000, right? Same numbers. Okay, swing this one back up. So roughly a year ago from that, we were also at a little over 3,000 at that point, if you're measuring apples to apples. But the peak, we went to almost 4,000. So if you look at the peak of where we were at, probably in January, February of 2019, so a little over a year ago, no, a little under a year ago, 4,000. Yeah, November 2020, year and a half ago. Okay, sorry, had to get that right on it. So a year and a half ago, but 2 seasons ago, for sure, we were at almost 4,000 homes at that point there, and we're at 2,000 now. And the year before that, roughly the same, slightly higher. But look at this. If we go back to 2016, 2017 season, we were at 5,000 homes. So in the last couple of years, we've seen our inventory consistently shrink and demand go up. And I know we talk about that at times, but I wanted to show you the numbers about how that's working. It's pretty incredible for what's happened in the market. Now, which is a month of sales by price range. So we've seen price ranges increase also. I'm going to leave this one up because this on here, it might just help me to illustrate what I think is going to happen in season 2020 to 2021, okay, which we're in right now, right? So we're seeing the market kind of go up, okay, on that there for real estate. Retail is flat. For those of you who don't know my history, I was at one time known as the book guy before I was the realtor guy, because realtor guy, okay, because I owned a bookstore downtown Palm Springs. Love the book business. Anyways, I could have a whole conversation about that. But that made me very friendly with the retail business downtown Palm Springs throughout the Coachella Valley. I'm very sympathetic to the mom and pop retailers of the Coachella Valley. And I'll tell you, I know they've struggled. If you've been through the Palm Desert Mall lately, you've seen the vacancies. If you've been downtown Palm Springs, you've seen more vacancies. Okay, restaurants may be struggling, but with the compromise that's been done for outside dining that they can do, and heat lamps out on the curbs and moving out into some of the parking spaces. Not every restaurant, and I really sympathize with those who haven't been able to adapt because of their location to it. But in downtown Palm Springs, many of them are finding ways to survive. And on El Paseo, I think it's kind of similar. Okay, what's been done? A lot of the cities are letting the people branch out more, okay, and take advantage of outside dining. So retail is struggling but surviving. Not retail. Restaurants are struggling but surviving. Retail is struggling and dying. This is where the K, okay, okay, for what's going on, some are going down, some are going up. This is what's happening in the economy right now. I believe season 2020 to 2021, we're going to see kind of like in the 1980s what the economy was. There weren't very many Canadians in the market for the 1980s. Okay, so they're not going to be here very much. They might come down for short stays, but between difficulty in traveling here because they can't come across the border, if they fly in and then they fly back, they've got a quarantine where they're home, but still some will come because they own a lot of homes here. But we are seeing a good amount of United States travelers come here, and we're seeing a good amount of Southern California vacationers come here. And so that's kind of what the economy was like out here in a couple of decades back, where the international traveler was not as abundant. People are still going to wear masks. Okay, they're going to be social distance conscious on that there, but that's going to allow for some business to happen. But in the near future, I think we're going to see the tail end of season catch a little wind. Okay, that once the vaccines start coming out, and somewhere in January, February, the first vaccines are going to start coming out. It looks like Pfizer and what's the other one? Not Mendoza. I can't even think of the name, but one of the other companies both have 90% plus vaccines that we're just waiting for final government approval on. So probably sometime in December, the first of it will happen. They'll ramp up production, ramp up distribution. In January, we'll see more doctors, nurses, first responders, seniors, okay, get them. And then by the time you're to February and March, somewhere in there, the masses are going to have them. And I think as that happens and people start feeling more comfortable and we see the COVID statistics come down, okay, then people are going to start coming out. They're going to start spending again. Jobs are going to start coming back in a greater quantity. And as those things happen, I always hated that trickle down, but okay, some of the other sectors of the economy that have not survived well, like mom and pop retail, are going to see it. And I just pray that they can hold on. So please be safe. Please, shop where you can, okay? I mean, I sometimes will go and buy a jigsaw puzzle at a mom and pop store or something. Definitely eat at restaurants, that there. But think about real estate too, okay? I know it's not everybody's first priority right now, especially renters are struggling. And if there is no more rental reprieve after January 1st, that may throw a disruption into a lot of people's lives. I am a little concerned about that. Perhaps we can talk about that again another day. I've kind of gone as long as I need to go here, but I think we're getting near the end, okay, of the COVID impact for this first year, okay? And I do believe that as we go into year 2, things are going to get better. So thank you very much for your time. I'm Eric Meeks, the Realtor Guy, and have a good day. Bye-bye.